The cop didn't question him. He announced his guilt. Right in the center of the mall, Officer Brett Callum dangled a stolen watch in the air, pointed at Jalen Cross, and shouted, "Caught him red-handed!" Shoppers froze mid-stride. Phones rose. People laughed, assuming the badge meant truth. And Brett wore the victorious grin of a man who believed he'd just crushed another nobody. But Jalen didn't panic. He calmly reached into his wallet. And the moment his military ID flashed in the light, the officer's entire face collapsed. Officer Brett Callum didn't approach Jalen Cross like a cop. He approached him like a performer hungry for an audience. The mall was packed. Weekend noise, chatter, food trays clattering until Brett's voice sliced through it like a blade. "Hey, you! Don't move!" Every head turned. Jalen stopped walking. Calm, steady, aware that sudden movements only fed a predator. Brett closed in, holding something between two fingers like a trophy. A watch. A stolen watch. "Guess who I caught?" Brett announced loudly, pointing straight at Jalen. "Our thief!" A wave of whispers spread instantly. Someone laughed. Someone gasped. Someone else already had their phone recording. Brett loved this. He thrived on it. "Hands where I can see them!" he barked. "You thought you'd walk away with this?" He lifted the watch higher, rotating it for the cameras like he was hosting a game show. Jalen kept his voice even. "That isn't mine." Brett grinned. "Of course it isn't. You didn't buy it." The insult was deliberate, loud, designed to humiliate. A man in the crowd whispered, "Every time. They always target someone innocent." Brett stepped behind Jalen and started patting him down, not professionally, aggressively, intentionally rough. "Should have picked a different mall, buddy. We take shoplifting seriously here." Jalen didn't flinch, but his jaw tightened. "Officer," he said, keeping his tone measured, "I didn't steal anything." Brett laughed so hard the watch shook. "Oh, you'll have plenty of time to explain. To the real cops. The ones who'll book you." Jalen looked around. Dozens of people watching, filming, snickering, waiting to witness a takedown. This was exactly the kind of spectacle Brett lived for. The jewelry store clerk rushed over. "Officer, that's the item that went missing." "I know," Brett cut her off. "And our friend here had it." "But," she hesitated, glancing at Jalen. "I'm not sure." Brett ignored her completely. "Step back, ma'am. Let me handle the criminal." He turned toward the crowd. "People like him always think they're smarter than us." Jalen inhaled slowly, once, deep. Then he reached for his wallet. Brett lunged. "Don't reach! You want to get shot?" Jalen froze mid-motion, then slowly raised the wallet where everyone could see it. "I'm showing you my identification," he said. Brett scoffed. "Yeah, sure. Your library card?" But Jalen didn't respond. He simply flipped open the ID. A breathless silence hit the crowd like a shockwave. The emblem, the rank, the title, United States Army. Colonel Jalen Cross. Brett went pale instantly. The teenage boy recording whispered, "Oh, he messed up." Jalen's voice was calm but razor sharp. "You were saying?" Brett stepped back so fast he almost tripped. Hold on. There must be a mistake. This can't be." "It's real," Jalen replied, "unlike your accusation." The jewelry clerk's hand flew to her mouth. "Colonel, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize." "You're not the problem," Jalen said gently. "He is." Brett tried to laugh it off, but his voice cracked. Hey, look, we just had a misunderstanding. You know how it is. Busy mall. Things get chaotic." Jalen didn't let him finish. "You planted that watch." Gasps erupted. Brett's face twitched. "What? No, you're insane. Why would I?" "Because you thought I couldn't fight back." The crowd murmured louder now, phones all angled at Brett. Jalen lowered his voice to a deadly calm. "Call your supervisor." Brett didn't move. "Now," Jalen said. A radio crackled. Supervisor Elias Rowan arrived within minutes, confusion turning to horror as he took in the scene, the watch, the cameras, the ID badge. "Officer Callum," Rowan said sharply. "Step aside." Brett stuttered. "Sir, he took—" "Enough," Rowan said. The mall cameras caught everything. Brett's mouth hung open. Rowan continued. "You were seen entering the jewelry kiosk. You were seen palming the watch, and you were seen slipping it behind the bench before creating this circus." The crowd erupted. "You're lying!" Brett yelled. "The cameras must be wrong. This guy, Rowan held up a hand. "Officer Callum, turn in your badge." Brett's face collapsed. "No, please, Supervisor. I didn't badge. Now!" Hands shaking violently, Brett removed it and placed it in Rowan's palm. The badge that once made him powerful now looked like a death sentence. Jalen watched silently. Rowan turned to Jalen and bowed his head. "Colonel Cross, I apologize on behalf of the department. This behavior is unacceptable. It will be documented fully." "You're going to need more than documentation," Jalen replied. Rowan cleared his throat. "Internal affairs is already on the way." Brett stumbled backward. "Internal, what? No. You can't. My record, my job, Jalen cut him off. "Your job was to protect people. Instead, you hunted them." The crowd fell completely silent. Jalen took a step toward him. "You tried to rewrite reality in front of witnesses. You tried to criminalize me to entertain yourself." Brett's eyes filled with panic. "Please, Colonel, don't let them—" "You did that," Jalen said. "Not me." 2 federal IA officers arrived and cuffed Brett slowly, deliberately, making sure every camera captured it. "You're under investigation for evidence tampering, racial profiling, falsifying reports, and misconduct," one officer recited. Brett broke. "Please, I didn't mean to—" "You meant every second," Jalen said. As Brett was walked out through the crowd, the same crowd he once performed for, Jalen delivered the final line that would explode online. "You framed the wrong man. You chose the wrong uniform." And with that, Jalen walked out of the mall, calm, steady, unbroken, leaving behind the wreckage of a man who believed a badge made him untouchable.